Okay, we are live. This is the first Embodiment of Soul Care podcast. My name is Casey, and this lovely woman to the side of me is Kelly. She's my sister-in-law, so we have a very special relationship. Nobody understands you like your sister-in-law.
That's right. We get all the secret dirt, about our brothers that we didn't know beforehand.
So shout out to Angie and Ashby. Hello.
Yes. Hello, Andy. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
We have a really special bond, and we've actually been brainstorming this and heartstorming this for a couple of months now, and it coalesced. So we're really excited to roll out, and it's tea time. If we are doing this in the evening, just to kind of wind down from the day. The other day when we were practicing, Kelly had a cup of tea, and I thought, oh my God, that's so perfect. We have to do that. So if you want to, pause the video, go grab a cup of tea, come back and join us. And, we're just going to kind of cozy up. And part of our purpose in doing the podcast is just to really, I don't know, Kelly, why don't you kind of explain what our purpose is?
The point of this is kind of to allow us to talk to you guys about spirituality, things that are going on in the world, problems that you're having emotionally, problems that we're dealing with emotionally, and kind of make it a very interactive thing between Casey and I, and the things that we've dealt with, and absolutely how we are getting through those things. And introducing to you guys new tools, new ideas, and fun, adventurous ways of looking at life. I mean, I think a lot of us get really stale in life, and we don't embrace the entirety of our spirituality. And this is a great example of how things are going on in society right now, where everybody is kind of stale at home and wondering why they're going through this experience. And Casey and I have talked about it quite a bit, that, we both feel that it's a time for great spiritual growth, the time to start looking within and stop looking outside for answers, stop looking outside for success, stop looking outside for happiness, and recenter it and bring it back in to where it matters most, which is within you. And if you can find that within you, then everything outside will end up being the same. Really great, really graceful, and really beautiful. And so, Casey, how about you tell us a little bit about the embodiment part of Embodiment of Soul Care, and what?
Which, by the way, thanks for saving me on that. I kind of had a brain fart. That was beautiful. That was perfect. Thank you.
Hey, it happens, Hey, this is we're recording, we're flowing, we're going. Whatever happens, happens here. And we're apologizing ahead of time in case we drop songs, or dogs are barking, or children suddenly wake to cry. So we're apologizing ahead of time. Bear with us, and this should be as fun as it is educational, as it is heartwarming for each and every one of you. So yeah, Casey came up with part of this name, and I came up with the second half. It was kind of interesting how that worked.
Yeah, because we were trying to go back and forth on, what do we call this? And,
oh my gosh, I think we came up with, 50 different things?
I think so. We had a whole chart and mapped out all the names.
No, that doesn't fit. And finally, we came up with this Embodiment of Soul Care. So Casey brought in that embodiment part, and I think it's important that he kind of covers what it is, why it is you brought that word into the mix here.
Yeah. And just to kind of give a timestamp here, today's April 9th, 2020. We're in the midst of this coronavirus, COVID-19 pandemic. It's been going on for about a month now, at least in the United States. And that's a really interesting time. So just to kind of put a timestamp on this, no matter when you're listening to it, kind of puts you in that place. And it really speaks to the embodiment piece. Why embodiment? I think so many spiritual seekers, why it really resonates with us. So many spiritual seekers want to ascend. We think of ascension, we think of bringing energy in from the crown chakra and bringing it down into our bodies. And for so many years, we've been looking outside, as if God is outside of us, and angels are outside of us, and answers are outside of us. And so to really bring the embodiment piece and to ground us with that light within, with the love within, that it's coming from the inside out rather than the outside in. that it's coming from the ground up rather than from the top down. It's a reversal. And I think right now for so many of us, the embodiment piece is so important to really ground us in our experience, so that we are here, so that we are in the present moment, so that we can, at any moment, tap into that place of peace and grace within that then emanates out, because that's where our strength is. And so Kelly and I, just really felt like the embodiment piece really grounds the journeys that we're on right now, and just really gives a sense of fullness to our journeys. It just really spoke to so many things, and when we used the word, it just kept calling to us. And a lot of the, interestingly enough, a lot of the spiritual other teachers or practitioners that I've listened to over the past year, they've really been transitioning to embodiment. So it was just kind of a buzzword that really resonated with me, also resonated, so much with you. So it just seemed perfect and gave an anchor to what we're doing.
Absolutely. And I think that the word embodiment encases so much power to it too. I mean, it's a really, really powerful word, embodiment. It's
Yeah, it
almost
has like an ump to it,
It does. It has a punch. And so we really, really love that. And the soul care part of it, it's actually interesting. I was telling Casey that I was back in college and I was trying to design a website for a web class, which was a disaster, by the way. I'm not very talented. Don't ever hire me for that. And this name came to me like, okay, do a page on soul care. And so I was like, okay, I can talk about all spirituality. And then I was like, whoa, wait, I'm in college. I'm supposed to be cool. Who's going to listen to that, right? Who's going to read or check in on that website? But it always stuck with me, the soul care. And I have ever since used it in a couple of very important things to me, and now in this. And soul care is exactly what it says, the care of the soul, soul care. And it's also caring medicinally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, cosmically, universally about yourself, and understanding how all of those things tie in every day, every moment. And so it brings up a topic that I was just talking to Casey about before we started recording. And it's kind of like, the embodiment of taking care of the soul. Think about where our soul sits. In Chinese medicine, our soul sits completely within our heart. And the heart, amazingly enough, I didn't even know this till like maybe five or 6 days ago. The heart itself is 60 to 1,000 times more powerful and energetically connected to your body than your brain. So every single thing that you think and that you feel is passed through your entire body, because it's going to go from your heart out. And we know blood comes in the heart and blood goes out of the heart, nourishing the muscles, nourishing the tendons, nourishing the sinews, nourishing every bit of us. And so if you're thinking negatively, or you're thinking that you're pissed off or whatever, then the whole body becomes that. So it's really, really vitally important that we think positively, and then we take care of our soul, and then we take care of our heart, and we take care of our minds and our bodies.
Yeah, I love the word care. It was just like, obviously soul resonates, and then care is just so beautiful. It's like self-care and soul care and just the world of care, right? Nurturing. We nurture others, we nurture ourselves, and it brings it home to like nurturing of self. And I loved having care as part of the name.
Yep. And that's going to be something too that we do through this whole live chat, is we'll talk about how to care for yourself. Not just spirituality, but how to care for yourself, whether it's herbally or supplementally or dietarily, whatever the topic is that week, we're going to be discussing how to care about yourself. So that is how we originated embodiment of soul care. Now, it probably was a little
Our
lengthy.
origination story.
Yeah, and you probably are bored with how we came up with it, but we thought it was kind of cute, and we figured that we'd share it with you. So that's that. So moving on into exactly what it is that we are dealing with today, which is the coronavirus, and everybody being locked and keyed and tied up in their homes. Hopefully you're not actually physically tied up. If you are, send an SOS. Hopefully somebody will hear you.
We'll answer.
So Casey, I think you should begin, because I think you've had kind of like a push-pull with this whole coronavirus and how it has affected you. both personally and emotionally. And so, yeah, let's begin there and let's just jump right in to this. And
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about where people are at and what would be helpful, for people to hear. And so much of it, it's been about a month now, that we've kind of been in it, as we mentioned, and it's been such a journey, right? Like, what's been
oh,
fascinating for me is some of my friends that I talked to, they were really, really busy, busy, busy. And it's been such a relief to them, to have just kind of the excuse almost to kind of hole up at home, maybe do some new things,
right,
maybe not have to either their job, they didn't have to engage in the same, maybe level of work for a couple weeks. Maybe they got a break from certain things. So some of them, it's been this like huge relief on some level. Um,
mhm,
and then, for others like myself, I mean, I'd kind of spent the last year like really building and creating a whole new life. And then boom, like it
right,
just kind of like that rug, just got ripped
right,
out. And that was, especially for the first couple of weeks, to adjust was just really hard. 'Cause it's like, whoa, no, like you're kind of, it reminded me of like scrabbling, like, no, I want that back, like, and I
clawing
think that
back.
people are just all over the place, with their experience. And then it's also shifted as we've gone through the weeks. Some people, now it's all kind of, I don't know, but everyone is also part of the collective experience. There is panic underlying, there is fear, there is stress. I mean, regardless of if you actually know someone who's been impacted by the illness, or you're just thinking about it, or you're just worrying about it, or you lost your job, or something shifted. I mean, a lot of very specific things in my life have been very impacted by the coronavirus, even though nobody in my immediate circle has the virus. Like, there have been, businesses, careers, like things have, really so much has shifted and will shift in the future because of it. And there's so much unknown. And that's what I'm really present to, is just how much unknown there is. And while, on the one side of the coin, that can be really, there's possibility, there's opportunity, there's also the flip side, where there's just like that fear that grips your embodiment, So I think, so much of it's just like, what's really helped me is just knowing that wherever I'm at with it in that day, that it's okay. It's okay where you're at. It's okay to be feeling how you're feeling about it. You don't, we want to, I think what was really interesting. So we had this chat, about positive energy, and,
Right.
but some days, okay, but I don't, let's say one day I don't feel that, or I'm feeling really stressed about X, Y, or Z, or, you're homeschooling your kid and dealing with whole new routines and trying to adjust and, trying to fit in your self-care, as we were talking about, which
Absolutely.
I'm finally doing in the last week, and it's making a big difference. Shout out to self-care. But just with the, I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit, but I'll get back to it. So just with the collective sense, just to realize that, oh yeah, that it's not all yours. And that's what's really in the last week. So I was talking to my friend, my beautiful friend Sherry, and it's kind of one of those things like, but then you forget, all those things.
Right. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
a lot of it is just, it's in the collective, and it's not all yours. And I was like, oh, thank God, thank you for the reminder, because you kind of, you forget, and it just kind of overwhelms you, or just feels so real. And you're like, that's right, because so many of us are empathic. And just to remind yourself, what, it's not all yours. And that does help clear some of it. And it also helps you be like, okay, when I'm healing this inside myself, holding it in the light, holding it in grace, holding it in my heart, it's also helping put that energy out. Oh, and the positivity piece, that's what I wanted to say. 'Cause I think sometimes we get down on ourselves, like, well, I'm not being, positive about it, or I don't want to put the wrong energy out. And I
Right.
think too, so much of it is just, if you have that, so much of where we've talked about, if you have that sense of grace in your heart, it does carry through, kind of. So
Right.
it's like things aren't always literal, it's not like you have a thought and then that literal thought will manifest. I mean, sometimes it will, but sometimes it's more just the energy of it, and even if you have an underlying sense, like, okay, because some days it's like, okay, I may not be in the best space, but you can always tap into that sense inside, and that's what really
You
helps
bet.
me. Like, in that moment, whether it's just taking a centering breath, or there's some mantra you have, or I know that you have some techniques too to kind of work through that. So to just give yourself some space, and then that helps, um, move it through. But that was a really good reminder for me, like, okay, yeah, that's right. Some of this we're just picking up collectively. And as you
Absolutely. I mean,
clear it, it helps yourself and others.
yeah, like we were talking about the other day. I mean, even people that are in these enclosed apartment complexes,
Right. Yep.
you've got energy above you, you've got energy below you, you've got energy on both sides of you.
Right.
And a lot of times what you're feeling isn't even yours. I mean, you're sitting, this goes like for any average day,
Yep.
even in your own household, like your husband or your children or your
Right.
dog. I mean, or flip it the other way, the wives. I mean, somebody comes in the house and they're feeling like total crap and shit, excuse me. And suddenly everybody feels that way. So imagine that. Imagine not even knowing the person above you, below you, or to the sides of you. And they come in from a whole day and they are just drugged down. They are depressed. They have had it. They don't even know if they want to go past tomorrow. And you're going to pick that up. There are ways, of course, to protect yourself against that. Make sure that your space is secure, that you're energetically cleared, and to go through those clearings daily. But a lot of times it is comforting to know that it's not just your crap. And then we always have, and this is something I'll repeat constantly, we always have the choice to feel good or to feel bad. And I personally, instead of paddling upstream, would like to flow downstream. And I think that feeling good is always a downstream flow. Why take the boat up when you can glide down nicely? And so that's something that it's hard to do. A lot of people have a really hard time training their minds to be in the positive space. And we all get sucked right back down into the crap. That's when you have to really call upon you and say, I'm not going to feel like that. I'm going to rise up here. And as I rise up here and I stay up here and I resonate up here, and that conscious flow of thought and feeling and energy will then go and spread throughout society. Believe it or not, you're more powerful than you think. And the things that you feel and the things that you think and the things that you say and the things that you do will impact every single person on this planet, no matter what.
It's a really powerful visualization for me, because I kind of start here in my core, kind of like the heart space, visualizing like just a beautiful bubble of light. It's just kind of just about yay big. And then, and then I encompass my entire body, it kind of grows here and then it grows to encompass my body. And that's kind of almost like my sovereign bubble, my sovereign energy, that it's like, okay, ain't nothing touching this. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Only the purity of what, I'm an experience is within. This is where, I do have that control, that sovereignty, that grace. And then, and I, like in my meditations, then I'll see that bubble grow, whether it's to your neighborhood, to the world, to the universe, and you can kind of, and knowing that is all held still right here. It's the same bubble. And I've been working with that kind of in the last month, and it's been really powerful for me. Just that simple.
Just that simple imagery.
And I've been, teaching it to my son, and, it's like, even like little kids, it's like, you can teach that really, but sometimes simple is what you need, in that moment.
Exactly. Like I'll tell my girls, I'll say, listen, you're having a really blocked bad emotion. Envision whatever it is you want out in front of you. And like Sydney's always like, a teddy bear, or Hattie's a flower, because every song's about a flower to Hattie. And they'll envision putting all of that energy, all that negative energy into that flower. And then I'll say, okay, mommy's going to move this out of the space. We're going to blow it up and we're going to let it settle back into the earth. And we're going to let it grow new, beautiful things.
Oh, that's like embodiment. That's so perfect. Just like grounding it.
Exactly. And then, we'll talk about all the light of the rainbow and bringing each color of that in through the body and just cleansing and centering the body back.
Yeah.
And it's vitally important that we do that. I'm not saying like every time you feel a bad emotion, they're like suddenly like, excuse me, I need to go to the bathroom and I need to clear this. Or you're in the middle of like a board meeting and you're suddenly saying to everybody, just shh.
I know, right?
I'm trying to center this and get rid of this. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when you do get a moment of peace, a moment alone, even if it's the end of the day and you're in the shower, you're in the bath, or you're sitting there on the toilet, whatever it be, start releasing things. And the toilet's a great place. Hell, just let it go, right?
Oh,
Just
God, seriously.
flush it. So, it's all of that type of thing. Just getting rid of things as they come in, clearing out your body. And that's really, this is a good point to make. You mentioned meditation.
Yeah.
Meditation is so vitally important. And the reason it is because it centers you, it quiets you. I used to tell people who are like, I can't meditate. There's too much crap always in my head.
Yeah.
So the coolest way to do that when there's so much crap in your head
Yeah.
is to think the thought, pass it through, and then go outside or even in your house, doesn't matter. And every single sound that you hear, you recognize, and then you let it go. The next sound, recognize, let it go. And soon you'll just train your mind to start letting things go, one thing at a time. And meditation, Casey, I know that you do a lot of sound meditation. I do too. I'm a huge fan of beautiful music that resonates with the soul, whether it's tuning forks, whether it's Tibetan bowls. You introduced me to one last week that was a gentleman who was singing through the heart chakra pretty much the entire time. And those vibrations are extremely powerful.
I just feel like it moves energy, you know?
Yes, and find a meditation that works for you. And even if you can't quiet your mind, through the entire meditation, do I am that I am. You know, I am powerful. I am courageous. I am beautiful. I am goddess energy or God energy. I am love. Whatever it is, just sit quietly and focus on you. And you had mentioned that, and I'm going to kind of go back to it. You know, as mothers, as parents, as fathers, as grandparents, as aunts, uncles, whoever you are, brothers, sisters, kids, I mean, all of us, we all need that quiet space. We all need that time to recollect our thoughts, recollect ourselves. And as my mother always says, put your oxygen mask on first, and then everyone else will be fine. And it's the truth. If you're not taking care of you and giving yourself some time each day, whether it's a workout, a meditation, both, coloring, painting, sitting quietly, doing nothing, not even meditating, just being left alone. Gather yourself. If you're not doing that, you're gonna melt away. You're gonna be miserable. And it's important that we take that time. And Casey, I think you had mentioned that to me this afternoon when we were chatting, that, you know, for 3 weeks during the beginning of this coronavirus, it didn't take any of that time. And I remember having phone calls with you, and it was like, you know, I don't just, like, find a space. Find your space. You know, I have my husband working here at home on and off, and he knows not to interrupt my space. Don't come near mama. You know, and the kids know it too. Mom's meditating. You know, they'll come and sit on my lap during a meditation, whatever. Just be quiet. You know, leave me be.
And it makes your embodiment happy. You know, that's part of it.
Yes.
I think we've spent so long thinking about the soul and ascending and all these things. I mean, the embodiment is important, you know, and if coronavirus doesn't show us that, you know, it's like we have to take care of the embodiment. You have to honor the embodiment, you know, and kind of as that holistic.
Right. And if you're not even taking care of your body, then you're not taking care of your soul, because guess what? Guess who sits in the body? Your soul. So if you're not taking care of it,
vehicle right now, you know, to buzz around and do what we're doing.
Exactly. You're this soul having a human experience in a human body, and you better sure as hell take care of that human body. You know, whether that's eating right, giving yourself time, doing meditation, making your mind clear, exercising your butt off, whatever it is, take care of it. You really need to. You know, should I go into some of, I guess I could share some different techniques that you can do to kind of release these energies. You can do it simply, like really easy at home, instead of meditating. Oh, try this, you know? So the first one that I was going to discuss and have you do along with me, Casey, you can actually come up with like something you've been feeling recently, whatever that is. You know, and what this is EFT, which is an emotional freedom technique. It's a tapping technique that somebody came up with many years back. And it kind of had, you know, people were like, what the hell is that? Why would tapping free the world, free your body? And then it became really, really popular suddenly. And then it kind of faded out again. And so it's something that I definitely use, and I think it's a great technique. Actually, I had my sister call me from London the other day, and she's like, I can't get rid of this anger. And I
Yeah.
was like, let's try this.
Nice.
Let's tap this out.
That's awesome.
You know, we were on FaceTime. I
Yeah.
had propped the phone up, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm gonna tap.
Yeah.
Let me tap. I'm showing you when, and the kids are all yelling, the dog's in my lap, we're tapping.
gosh.
So this is a little bit more peaceful of an atmosphere for our tapping session. No one's coming in, right?
Oh,
Every
seriously,
time
I'll let you know.
I know, right? I shut the door just in case. So, and I'm losing my voice, kind of. I think I told you why. I started riding the bike again, the assault bike.
Oh, right. Yeah.
My voice just keeps going out because I like sucking air the whole time I'm riding it. Ugh. So I'm getting worn out. Anyway, so this emotional freedom technique, a little bit of its background, it's based off of the 14 meridians in Chinese medicine, the flow lines of energy that go through our entire bodies. And it has 10 tapping points. And these 10 tapping points are going to help free those lines, free the channels. So the way you would do this is, okay, so Casey, come up with, something that you've been feeling.
Do I need a phrase, or can I just say like a
just
feeling?
an emotion.
Okay.
Flat out emotion.
Yeah, like more like the uncertainty, the unknown, kind of standing in that gap.
Okay, so what you would do with that, let's say that you have uncertainty of the unknown, or just uncertainty, period.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So what you do is you start here on the edge of the hand, and you start tapping it. And you can tap it with all 4 fingers. That's fine. You can tap it with 2, but I would do the 4. And you say, even though I am feeling this uncertainty, I still fully love myself.
Even though I am feeling this uncertainty, I still fully love
myself. Okay. And you can also say, even though I feel this uncertainty, I fully and completely love and accept myself.
Okay. And you can either say it out loud or just inside.
Oh yeah, you can, whatever you want to do. I mean, your body hears you. And then you move up to the top of the head. So you're up here, and you say the same thing. You'll repeat it. Even though I feel this uncertainty, I still fully love and completely accept myself. You can change. It doesn't always stay the same. And then you would move to this point above the eyebrow. I should probably move closer so you can see where I'm at.
On the side.
Yep. So right here on this bridge line right here between the nose and the brow. Okay, so you can tap with 3, you can tap with 2. And then you move to the outside of the eye, and you say the same thing, even though I already forgot what the hell we're doing.
Even though I'm feeling this uncertainty.
Okay, uncertainty.
I fully love and accept myself.
Yep, and then you'll move below the eye, even though I feel this uncertainty. I completely and fully love and accept myself. And then you'll go below the nose. And then you'll go below the chin. And as you're doing this, you're going to say it over and over. Okay? And then you go to the chest bone right here. And then you're going to go
over here. Sides? Do you go back into the other side?
You can do both sides at the same time, or you can do just one. Okay. And then you want to move over to the brow line. You're doing both sides because you want balance. I love it. Okay, so then you'll do the brow line. Okay. Then you'll come up here and you'll do this side of the wrist, like right here. This is also what we call in Chinese medicine the heart line. And so you just tap the heart line and say it too. Now you can change what you're saying throughout. So, even though I'm feeling this uncertainty, I completely love and accept myself. And then you can come up here and say, even though I'm feeling this uncertainty, I'm still prideful. I'm still happy. I'm still powerful. I'm still accepted. I'm certain. Okay, so you just go through it all and you just add on those positive affirmations into it, so positive words. Some people go with the same thing from the start all the way through, and it starts to lighten up the whole embodiment. And then some people will start changing it up. I'm one that changes it up because I like to put the positive words into everything. And so I one of those that'll sit there for, 10 minutes. I'm powerful. I am this, I'm that, I'm blah, 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 I'm this, whatever it is. You can use this for weight loss techniques. You can use this for if you can't stop eating. You can use this for stopping crying. You can use, for anything at all. Any emotion, any problem, you can use the EFT technique. Don't forget what it is you're trying to get rid of, like I just did.
Yeah.
But maybe it's already gone, so you just forget it, so, and move on to another one. Even though I'm feeling fear, oh no, shit, I don't fear it, So whatever it is, it just kind of comes out and you go with it. It's just an energetic way to eliminate.
But you cycle through, right? Like a couple times, like you'll kind of cycle through those a couple times. And if you do it in the wrong order or something, just keep going, whatever, right?
Keep going. And the important thing is that you want to keep going until you start to feel lighter.
Okay.
Until you start
energetically, you feel
some more peace. Don't stop just because you're tired of tapping. You're like, oh, I'm just exhausted. No. Stop when you actually feel a little bit of lift off, okay? And if you're doing it with your eyes closed, you'll notice that it'll kind of go from a gray to a clear white, or it'll go from black to gray. Whatever kind of progression you get, just go with it. If you want to, you can do it 5-6 times a day. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It is a great technique that you can just carry on throughout time.
Okay.
The other thing I was going to mention that's something really useful right now are Bach flower remedies. You use those?
I do, and we use them for Olaf a little bit, our dog.
Yeah, for your pets, for your kids, for
I like the different themes, and I definitely have my favorites, and I like the way they smell for some reason. They're so lovely.
Oh yeah, and you want to put those, and it's great for your kids, especially the little chewable tablets, the Rescue Remedy. And Rescue Remedy just flat across the board right now for everybody with this coronavirus going on. It's a really helpful remedy. Yeah. It'll kind of calm you down, cool you down, let you kind of be at peace. You don't have to drink it away. You don't have to pop the pills. You can just put the Bach flower remedy either directly under your tongue or in water. I know it says to dilute it, but I don't always dilute it.
I know. I like to
drink the whole bottle.
Seriously.
I'm just kidding. I don't. Any homeopathic right now is like, what are you doing drinking that, lady? But some of my favorites for times like this is like aspen and willow and red chestnut. I think there was one that stuck out. I think heather. The heather Bach flower remedy is one that it helps with isolation feeling, which I think, obviously people are feeling isolated right now. That whole feeling of being alone for too long. So it helps to release that whole feeling of isolation and alone. Yeah. Loneliness. That would be the proper term, not alone, but loneliness. Yeah. And another one is mimulus. Now, mimulus is very, very powerful. It will stop nightmares and night terrors. Even if you have little ones that are having that, that's also a very helpful one. I know I used to give that to my oldest daughter. She kind of is a little bit of a intuitive, and she would be visited a little bit through the night times. And so we kind of, gave it a little bit of a cushion. So the mimulus helped with that. Rock rose is another one. But, all you have to do is go to, well, you can't go anywhere. All you have to do is get online and start looking at Bach flower remedies for whatever it is you're feeling: anger, depression, frustration, fear, anxiety, overwhelmed, anything like that. Just look it up, and there's going to be a Bach flower remedy that's going to fit exactly what you're going through. And take it, enjoy it, treat your body. Yeah. Another thing was with Chinese medicine, spiritual heaven point. I think I talked to you a little bit about this, Casey, from pretty much where the nipple line is all the way to the base of the core, the center line of where, your center line lies. Too soon over. Now, too soon is like this. This is your distance of too soon. No, this, 3. Anybody in Chinese medicine is like, so 3, a distance of 3 out from that center breast line. And then what it is it's going to be all the way up to about here. And what you can do is you can take your fingers and go in between your intercostal spaces, and you can drive your hands outward. And what that's going to do is it's going to release spirit point. You're almost driving and cleansing and calming the spirit. If you go up a little bit higher, that's fine, because that's also chest congestion points, and you can release congestion in the chest, as well as a few lung points that are on the sides here. So just an outward scraping. Now, why do we go outward instead of inward? Because we're wanting to get rid of negative energy.
So are you going on the skin? Is it that you're pressing?
Yeah, oh yeah, you're right
out?
on the skin.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, and you're just kind of pulling outward, like you're trying to come out of your skin. You know what I mean? So you're pulling outward, and a lot of people are pretty tender in those points.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you find that tender point, kind of stay on it a little bit, rub it clockwise, a little bit counterclockwise, balance it out, and just outward motion constantly. That will give you a little bit of a break in there, calm the spirit. The other one, of course, is the point in between the two eyes. That's what we refer to as the third eye.
Okay.
And just rubbing that is a very calming point. You know, clockwise, counterclockwise. If you're feeling like extremely stressed out, counterclockwise, clockwise if you're just needing some calming, that will help. The other thing I was going to tell people about was Standard Process sells some pretty amazing immune support. I'm like giving them props right now. You should pay me for this. Bach flower, Standard Process. I expect a check. I give you my address right now, but I think that I don't want to invite people that I don't want giving me a check up my driveway. So these three supplements are really helpful. You have Cataplex C, which is pretty much just a really big boost of vitamin C. You have Cataplex F, which is going to be kind of your essential fatty acids. And as we know, essential fatty acids really help to keep the brain, heart, everything really healthy so that your immunity stays healthy. And the other one is, what is the other one? I have to look. I already forgot. And calcium. Hello. Heart and muscle function. Okay, so again, an immune booster too. Remember, when we're stressed out, our cortisol levels fly up off the charts and our immune system goes down. Another reason why to stay positive and stay out of the stress mode is so that your body can actually process and do its job immune-wise. And so, yeah, I think that's what I have in terms of things that, you know, care for your body and energetically care. And I know, Casey, you have some great ideas for creative things people can do to get their minds out of the gunk and into something fun, you know, glittery, you know?
Well,
so what do you do?
When you were mentioning the creativity, I mean, what really came to me, what I've kind of been having fun with is more around like, you know, kind of just like listening to music and even like dancing around my house, like getting my body moving. And then there's been some online classes I've found. You know, I mean, I know we're all kind of trying to tap into what we can. I found like a Nia class online, which is like a body movement class, you know, and I'd been meaning to go and I hadn't been yet. So I was like, great, I'll just do it from my house, you know. So that's kind of more where I've kind of been tapping in, is kind of just getting the body moving and flowing, you know, kind of to keep some energy flow. So that's kind of, you know, what I've been playing with, and just going on a ton of walks. So I don't know if I've been really creative, but just like more movement, I guess, is feeling really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, your mind and your body, as long as they're staying in motion, you know, you're flowing, everything's flowing. I think one thing I would like to say across the board to everybody is turn off your news.
Yeah.
Because it's depressing. And it also keeps you on the couch like, what how many people died?
Well, and sometimes the focus is all wrong, you know, like whether it's focusing on the number of deaths rather than the number of people recovered. Or like the other day, you know, that, I don't know if you saw it, I posted that really beautiful image of like the white blood cells. Like, focus on how powerful your body is to fight these things. You know, don't focus on this little coronavirus that looks like a nasty little, you know, guy who's going to come get you. It's like, and I can't tell you how powerful that's meant for me. I put it on my phone, my screensaver, and every time I see that white blood cell image, and it literally lights up my body. Like, I feel good. I know it sounds ridiculous, but like, it's amazing. It just, it's like, yes, it's affirming, you know, it's affirming your strength and your power and
Exactly.
just what you have within. So I found that really
You're giving your power back to your body and not to this virus. You're giving your power to you.
Yeah.
And I think that the news and the media have all spun so much of this so deeply that, they even themselves are succumbing to it, and you can see their demeanors, like they kind of look melted away in a sense. Turn it off. Get it out of your mind. If you want to see updates, look for maybe like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
The update,
seriously.
and then turn it off and go do something else. Get active. I think that's a great way to be creative. I think that, if you're into pottery, if you're into jewelry, if you're into being artistic, I know my mother-in-law, Amy, she's gotten more into painting, more into creativity, and she's this incredible artist. And she's taken it to that level where she's starting to like read books about art again and get back into it. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people, even amidst all the negative that's occurred, I think a lot of people have really embraced this as an opportunity to get back to the things that brought them joy. We don't need all the crap. We need each other. I mean, I've talked to parents who have been actually really happy with all of this because they don't have to rush to sporting events. Instead, they get to come home and they all just have to have dinner together and sit together and read together and look at things. And I think those are things we need to focus on. I don't think that we need to sit there and Casey, I know you fully agree. We don't need to focus on the negative. We don't need to focus on, how many people are dying. I mean, bless their hearts in God's speed that they find peace in their souls as well as their family members that have lost them. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from those experiences. All I'm saying is try your ass off to be positive. I mean,
because it affects everybody, as much as the energy is affecting us, we're affecting out, and
we are.
That's important too,
Yep.
It impacts people around you.
Right. And I mean, it's so important that we try to make for a better society. I think this is a huge lesson. Like I said earlier when we first started, it's a huge lesson for everybody. It's a spiritual lesson, and we either get on the wave and start riding it, or we're going to hit the brakes and be completely lost. Because things are not going to, as much as people hate to hear this, things are not going to be like they were. Ever again. And in a good way.
Right. I know. I'll be so curious. I'm finally feeling part of me that's like curious about the uncertainty. Do you know what I mean? Which is good. It's like, what is going to be different? What is really going to shift? Whether it's personally, collectively, like part of me is really fascinated. I'm like, gosh, this is going to be so interesting,
Well, look at what the hell this brought about. Look at us. What are we doing right now? Do you know what I mean? We've talked about this forever. Neither of us have stepped up to it, and suddenly this makes us step up to it. I mean, look at the possibility that comes out of this. The bonds, the friendships. I have connected with some of my most precious, Audra, shout out to you, honey bunny, people in my life. And that I hadn't spoken to for years. I mean, this has been a great thing for a lot of people. As much as it has been a bad thing, it's been a great thing. What were you going to say?
It reminded me of the creativity piece. Like it gets those, like this was part of our creativity. This is our version of it. This is us being creative, us putting something out there. Somebody else will have whatever version they have. So many people have had Facebook Lives or, different things that they're offering. Like somebody was telling me today, this was so cool. Like one of the online yoga classes, she's like, I used to go to this yoga class and there'd be like 40 people there. It was always packed. She goes, we were online today. There was 300 people in this yoga class. Like, how cool is that?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
how cool is that?
You never, and I kind of hope that some of this continues, that, hey, I can't make it to that dance class that day, but I'll just do it online, that you have some more options now. Like it could be kind of fun, so just things like that. I don't know. I think are kind of neat.
No, and I think that would be really powerful, like to have the choice. Okay, I don't have to rush home and throw my bag on and my dance gear and run. Instead, it's like, hey, girls, we're not going to make it. Here's dance.
Oh, seriously.
Here's your floor. You can tap, you can spin, you can do whatever the heck it is you want to do. We're going to do it right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you know, it is. It's bringing more of a community of people together.
Yep.
So that's really, really, really positive. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about tonight that we should cover?
You know, I think we really covered most of it. I think we did pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. There is one. So before we end with a little thing that I'm going to read to you guys, we do want to point something out that it's really, we are actually looking for you guys to get involved in this. Casey and I would love nothing more than for your feedback. Not like, hey, did we do a good job? Like, we don't care. Because we really don't. You know, it is what it is.
You made it to the end of the video.
You know, you either hated it or you enjoyed it, and that's going to be. We've discussed that. You know, we're going to attract the people that are supposed to hear this, that want to be involved in it, and we are looking for you to get involved. So write us. You know, write us things about what you would like to have discussed, how you feel about certain things. And we can read it out to everybody too. Like, we can kind of be that outlet for you to express how you're feeling about something spiritual or something you've learned or something that you've really come to grips with or not come to grips with. And you want kind of a little bit of, you know, hey, what do you guys think about this situation? Do you think I should go forward with it or not? You know, we're going to cover so much ground with these chats. I mean, between this, which is a really heavy topic, all the way to probably heavier ones that you guys will probably be like, they are so weird. Like, you know, to simple things and, you know, like relationships, you know, how to get along, how not to get along, our experience in them, struggles with motherhood. I mean, all kinds of things will come into play here. And this is a space as much for us as it is for all of you. And we want to just really extend that outward. And Casey, do you have anything that you want to add to that?
No, just that we'll, you know, have the Facebook page too, where people can engage. And I think, you know, if they want to be more public or they can message us privately, the embodiment of soul care, you can just kind of, you know, look it up. There should only be one of them. And yeah, no, I mean, we kind of just, basically we're putting this out there. We're just going to see what it turns into. So that's part of the curiosity, you know, that's kind of like, how will people engage with it? What's useful? What calls to us? What are other people looking for? So yeah, feel free to jump in and, you know, we'll just kind of keep flowing with it.
Yeah, and even if it turns into just like a fun time for you and I. This is the funny thing. Casey and I literally live, what, 5 minutes from each other?
Oh, yeah.
And this is the most we've seen of each other. And you know, this might be our only social hour. So if this tea turns into something else, a glass of wine or G&T, and we start slurring our speech, you'll know that it's because we had a really hard week. And I'm sure that we'll share that with you.
Oh, seriously.
So that being said, I think what we'll do is we'll close it out. What Casey and I decided we would like to close this out with is I kind of brought this to Casey's attention that there was a meditation that I was doing the other night. Wayne Dyer, he's my man. Bless him.
God, even just his voice is so, you know.
Oh my gosh, his
so
voice
soothing.
it's like a hug.
It is a big spiritual hug.
It is. It's so magnificent to me. I love him. Love him. If I channel people like really, really well, I would have him next to me day and night. I know that that's probably not what my husband would like, because I'd be like, Wayne, you know, and Matt probably would be not into that. But I would be very much so. You know where to find me when you all pass over. I'm with Wayne Dyer. Okay?
Look for Wayne.
So anyways, he had done this meditation, and it was based off of a book called 3 Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. Never read the book. I have it coming speedway fast as can be from Amazon this week. I thought it was here today, and it wasn't. It was something else. And there was something that hit home with me and with Casey as well. It kind of sums up everything that we're saying, that we have said, and that we will be saying. And it's a little bit lengthy, but I invite you to join us as I read through it, whether you want to close your eyes, keep your eyes wide open and watch me read it, whatever's comfortable for you. I just want you to hear the words and really bring them into yourself, into your soul.
And I think too, we'll put a link to there's a YouTube with his voice of it as well, and we could
yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah,
that one's, I listened to a few others and
really, okay,
can do it for me. I'd rather hear myself.
Perfect. Hey, I'm ready.
Just kidding.
I'm ready.
All right. Okay, so we'll begin with this. And Casey, feel free to close. Oh, she's already done. She's in it. Okay. Right. I know that I am pure spirit, that I always have been, and that I always will be. There is inside me a place of confidence and quietness and security where all things are known and understood. This is the universal mind, God, of which I am a part of and which responds to me as I ask of it. This universal mind knows the answer to all of my problems, and even now, the answers are speeding their way to me. I needn't struggle for them. I needn't worry or strive for them. When the time comes, the answer will be there. I give my problems to the great mind of God. I let go of them, confident that the correct answers will return to me when they are needed. Through the great law of attraction, everything in life that I need for my work and fulfillment will come to me. It is not necessary that I strain about this, only that I believe. For in the strength of my belief, my faith will make it so. I see the hand of divine intelligence all about me, in the flower, the tree, the brook, the meadow. I know that the intelligence that created all these things in me and around me, and that I can call upon it for my slightest need. I know that my body is a manifestation of pure spirit, and that spirit is perfect. Therefore, my body is perfect also. I enjoy life, for each day brings a constant demonstration of the power and wonder of the universe and myself. I am confident, I am serene, I am sure. No matter what obstacle or undesirable circumstance crosses my path, I refuse to accept it, for it is nothing but illusion. There can be no obstacle or undesirable circumstance to the mind of God, which is in me, around me, and serves me now. Amen. So go and be with that. Enjoy it. Bathe in it. We will, like Casey said, we'll put that link up. It has some really beautiful music behind it. I think it has a sound of like running water.
Yeah.
It is a nighttime meditation, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how they labeled it. Yeah, to listen to.
And so put your earbuds in, block out the world, center in, listen to Wayne. Don't think about me calling him out. Listen to Wayne, enjoy him, enjoy what he has to say in those words written by U.S. Anderson, and be one with yourself. Okay? We love you guys. We're here for you. Casey, you have anything else to say to close this session out?
We had wanted to just end with, we're sending each of you a big spiritual hug, seriously.
Yep.
So
Big,
much
big
love
one.
to you. Till next time.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Ciao.